Well, Shingyaki wanted a touch of gloves at the start of the fight, but Jeff Fenech said no, we'll just get straight on with the business.
It's unlike a lot of fighters who's prepared to go through the pleasantries before a fight and pretend that he maybe likes his opponent a bit. Nothing like that for Fenech. He loathes him. He wants to knock him out as quick as he can, and he's been anything but sociable with the Japanese all week. Well, a cautious beginning, as you'd expect, from Jeff Fenech up against a world champion and a southpaw, and he certainly would want to sort him out and try and work him out before he gets in there.
Well, Fenech is just content to walk up. Shingyaki, I'm told about Shingyaki, Mike, that one of the biggest punches he's got is one that you don't find in an orthodox, if you can coin the phrase, southpaw with their orthodox fighting. Normally a southpaw, a couple of left hands, but there was nothing in that. The crowd roared, but there was no damage in those. A southpaw normally feints with the right hand, and then his punch is normally the left. Now, with Shingyaki, they tell me one of his lethal punches is the right hook off his own lead. And they tell me not too many southpaws in the top league of boxing can throw that punch. But they tell me that Shinyaki's very dangerous off a right-hand lead where he can hook off that right-hand lead, and that might be something that Jeff Fenech will have to look out for tonight. See, Fenech only landed a couple of light blows into the rib area before. The crowd went berserk. I'd hate to see if he ever lands one flush.
Well, he didn't throw one bad right-hand rip there. He's doing a bit more than the Japanese in the first round.
Good left hand by Fenech, got straight through the guard of Satoshi Shingyaki. Good right into the body from Fenech was a good scoring punch, and that left hand is darting out from the Australian. Now, there was a lead off the right hand, Mike. He didn't just tentatively lead out the right, he went for more or less a right hook off the lead, but he did miss.
Well, as the round progresses, Fenech looking more and more confident, and the Japanese so far not causing him too many worries.
10 seconds to go in the first round of the fight. Nothing much in the first round. Fenech more or less taking the fight to Shingyaki. As the bell goes to end round one.
Back in the corner of Jeff Fenech after round one of the action here live at Sydney's Horton Pavilion for the IBF World Bantamweight Championship. And I think Fenech, as you say, Alan, through his leading up, might have just done enough to shade the points in round one.
Well, he certainly looked very confident, Mike. He was prepared to dart out that left hand and take the fight to Shingyaki. And if aggression counts for anything, he may have just picked up the points in the first round. But I think by the second or third rounds, I think we'll start to find out what this fight's all about. Both boys were pretty light with each other in the first round, which you can expect. 15 threes, it's a long way to go. And Shingyaki inclined to dance a little bit more at the opening part of the second round, and he's jabbing out that right hand.
Working as we are beneath the corner of Shingyaki, instructions being roared out in Japanese, but Jeff Fenech can't understand Japanese, and at this stage well, he's starting to understand this champion. He's looking good, Fenech.
Shingyaki certainly trying to look a lot more busier in the early part of the second round. Fenech still inclined to take the fight up to him. He scored with a light left hand. I noticed the referee, Bruce McTavish, stands a long way away from them. Those punches were taken on the gloves by Shingyaki.
Yes, that was really the first sign that Shingyaki wanted to take the fight up, and Fenech was quite prepared to give it back to him.
Fenech scored with a short right hand, but Shinyaki's defence was certainly to the fore. And most of the punches by Fenech were taken on the defence of the arms and the gloves of the champion. A couple of those right-hand leads from Shinyaki, I thought a little tentative. But he's the world champion. He's gone 15 3-minute rounds. He knows what it's all about. The right hand from Fenech got through. Shinyaki in a little bit of trouble. Fenech's gone free. And Shinyaki comes back. Well, Fenech certainly hurt him, and Shinyaki went to the neutral corner. He covered up, but he covered up very well. He got both gloves up very high over either side of his face, and Fenech let a barrage go. Most of them were taken on the gloves by Satoshi Shinyaki, but Fenech certainly stung him. Now Shinyaki looking a little bit more busy. Oh, the right hand got through from Shinyaki, was a good punch. Fenech momentarily in a little bit of bother. Fenech fights back, but Shinyaki scored with a good right hand.
Holding. Furious stuff at the end of round 2. And there was the action in round 2 where Jeff Fenech opened up and tore into the champ with a tremendous right hand there, and Shinyaki had the call for all the cover he could get there, Alan.
Michael, have a look at Shinyaki's defence. Now, have a look where both gloves are and his arms. Now, Fenech is only hitting gloves. Now, he certainly hurt Shinyaki with the right hand, but he's, look, around the body, around the back of the neck. He's pretty crafty, Shinyaki.
Out they come, the action live for round 3 of the IBF Bantamweight Championship of the World.
That right hand from Fenech in the second round certainly got through. And he stung Shinyaki, but Shinyaki's defence was first class. He went to the neutral corner. He was hurt. Don't make any mistake about that. But he got both gloves up very high, tucked his arms in close. And as you could see from the camera above the ring, that after that right hand, Fenech's punches did go mostly on the gloves and arms of Satoshi Shinyaki, the world champion. We're in round 3.
And it's noticeable so far in this round, it's the Japanese champ who's been doing the lead-up. Hasn't been evident so far in the fight, but he's moving up on Fenech.
It's amazing sometimes, Mike, in a fight, once you're hurt, it's amazing the way that if you haven't been doing a lot, how you quicken the tempo. And I think that was in evidence with Shinyaki. He was hurt and he came back and he did connect with a nice right hand on Jeff Fenech's jaw towards the latter part of the second round. So it's certainly hotting up. A good left hand by Fenech, got straight through the guard of Shinyaki, and the left hook follow-up wasn't all that bad either.
But it's still the champion, Shinyaki, changed the pace of the fight, and he's stalking Fenech around the ring now.
Right hand on the break from Fenech. Good scoring punch.
The judges score the fight on a maximum 10 points a round. And if you're scoring the fight at home or in the club or wherever you're watching, we thought that, at least I certainly thought that Jeff may have taken the points for the first round, not much in the second, at this stage in the third. Perhaps the Japanese are shade in front, but they give 10 points maximum to the winner of the round, and then anything from 9 down to the loser of the round.
Both good exchanges. Fenech's right hand got through, and Shinyaki didn't miss him before that with the left either. 27 seconds to go on this round. Shinyaki's corner very vocal. Just outside our commentary position, they're calling for Shinyaki. Only 10 seconds remaining in what has been an even round, round 3. with Shinyaki certainly becoming the aggressor.
Round 3 and the Japanese champ looking good at the Horden. World title night at Sydney's Horden Pavilion. There's the champion, Satoshi Shingaki, who certainly showed in round 3, Alan, that he wasn't about to give up his title lightly.
No, he started very slowly, Mike, but after he was stung in the second round by that right hand from Jeff Fenech, he certainly came into his own, and he did look as though in round 3 he was, well, about to hit his straps.
Round 4.
Out they come for round 4. For you people at home, you might be interested to know that if either fighter is knocked down in any round but the 15th, the count will continue and he cannot be saved by the bell. The referee for this fight, Bruce McTavish, will not stop the fight if there are 3 knockdowns in any one round. But he does have the power to stop the contest. Shinyaki getting in close to Fenech. He's starting to give him a little bit to go on with in this 4th round, and Fenech bites back.
And that low blow from the champion certainly stung Fenech into action. But again, it's the champion who's taken the initiative in this fight, taken the lead off Fenech, and the youngster from Marrickville certainly knows there's a big fight in his hands here tonight.
Things hotting up in round 4. This fight's very even up to date. There's that right hook off that right-hand lead from Shinyaki, which we told you about at the start of the fight. And I was told that's his lethal punch to actually hook off a right-hand lead, which you don't find many southpaws doing to great effect. Fenech over towards Shinyaki's corner, spins around. Shinyaki's defence holds. Fenech's got a right through as a good punch. One minute 15 to go in the round. Fenech throwing everything at Shinyaki, but he's as durable as they come. And the champion fights back. He tries to fight off the ropes. Now it's Fenech who goes over towards the neutral corner.
Break.
The longer this fight goes, the more the experience of Shinyaki, having gone 15 3-minute rounds, is going to come into play.
This is the sort of fight Fenech wants. He wants a street brawl, the boy from the back streets of Marrickville. And this fellow wants to slug it out with him. Jeffrey will accommodate him.
"25 seconds to go in the round. It's been Jeff Fenech's round. But after Shinyaki has taken plenty of punishment, he's still coming back at the end of this round. Oh, that was a bit low. Fenech didn't like it.
Right.
And now Fenech goes after Shinyaki. Shinyaki got him low and Fenech didn't like it at all, nor he should, as the bell goes to end round 4.
Sensation at the end of the 4th. There it is. The low blow, you're about to see it now from the Japanese champion as it comes straight into the young Sydney side of Jeff Fenech. And Fenech inflamed by that low blow. There it is. Pours it back into Shingaki, and have we got a fight on our hands here at Sydney's Horden Pavilion as they come out for the 5th.
Well, the 4th round was the busiest so far in the fight. Fenech looks good at occasions. He certainly gets through the guard of Shinyaki, but Shinyaki's as tough as teak. He's taken plenty, and he keeps coming back, which is the sign of a champion. That's why he's the world champion. He wouldn't be a world champion if he didn't get hit and come back.
Well, they've had a great tradition of toughness, Japanese fighters, down through the years. We've seen fellas like Fighting Arata out here, and this fella carrying on the old kamikaze tradition. Up they come. And I think Jeff Fenech wants it, though. I think he wants a brawl.
Both boys exchange blows. Shinyaki gets Fenech over towards the neutral corner. Fenech comes away, then towards the ropes, and now to centre ring. I mentioned to you earlier, 3 knockdowns in 1 round. The fight has not necessarily stopped, but the referee, after even 1 knockdown, if he deems that the contestant is badly injured, he can stop the fight. If the fight goes the full 15 rounds, the referee does not have a vote. The 3 judges will decide the winner. And as we've pointed out to you, it's on a 10 points for the winner of the round and 9 downwards for the loser of the round. There is no standing 8 count. If the fighter is badly hurt and hasn't been knocked down.
And Fenech being cautioned for cuffing there by referee Bruce McTavish. The crowd give the obligatory boos. And again, it's the Japanese doing all the lead-up work, gaining in confidence because Fenech hit him with his best in that last round, and he's extremely tough, this Japanese, as he rips into Fenech's body.
Fenech came back with his own right hand, but he's very tough, Shingyaki. That was a nice rip into the body from Jeff Fenech, and he did follow it up with the right hand. Both boys slog Fenech on the ropes, gets out of harm's way.
The pace they're going, Alan, I'll be surprised if this goes to 15.
Well, you wouldn't think so, Mike. Both boys have hit each other with a couple of big blows. But, I don't know, this Japanese fellow, Shingyaki, oh, gee, he's tough. Although Fenech scored with a nice punch, followed it up with the right. Shingyaki on the ropes, but once again, Shinyaki's defence holds. The right hand from Fenech and another one. They can't possibly keep this up. 8 seconds to go in the round. Fenech throwing everything at Shingyaki.
And that's it, a furious round 5. And it was in this very corner in his last fight here at Sydney's Hordern Pavilion that Jeff Fenech stopped the Filipino Rolly Navarro. It must be his lucky corner, Alan Thomas, because there he is giving the Japanese champion another dose.
Yes, he certainly scored with a number of blows, but I'm very impressed with Shinyaki's defence. Once he's in trouble, he knows he's in trouble. His defensive play comes into action. Up go the hand, tucks them in close, and he does make it a very hard target for Jeff Fenech to hit him. So we're in round 6.
Break!
A bit of a Newtown magic there with a grip around the head, Mike.
Yes, I don't think there's many tricks Jeffrey didn't learn in those back streets. As I said, a boy who had his nose smashed up when someone hit him with a shovel in the playground when he was only about 8 or 9. He said some of the toughest street fights he had at Newtown were fighting the fathers. He said he used to beat up the kids and their dads would come out and want to have a go with him.
Good left hand got through from Shingyaki. Fenech just momentarily on the back move. Shingyaki inclined to take the fight up to him.
Has a bit of trouble breathing, Fenech. He can't breathe through his nose at all. Only breathing through his mouth, but he says it doesn't worry him.
There's that little flicking right hand from Shingyaki. But that doesn't have any power in the punch.
The Japanese still taking the fight up to the Australian, although not with perhaps the same enthusiasm as he did in the previous couple of rounds.
No. Things have quietened down a little bit in the 6th round. I wouldn't be surprised both corners told the fellows just to take it a little bit easy. It's a long way to go, 15 threes. The first 5 rounds have been fast and furious. Somewhere along the way, you have to take a breather and get your second win. Although Fenech doesn't really believe what I'm telling him.
No, again, he has him in that corner, and the Japanese comes back strongly, though. He's a bit of a class act, the Japanese.
Just for the first time when Shingyaki just went across the ropes then, for the first time he dropped his guard. Got them up quickly. Half a spell, maybe feeling a little bit of worse for wear. Maybe a sign. Maybe Fenech thinks it's a sign because he's landed with a couple of good punches. And he's beat Shingyaki to the punch again in that exchange. And again. But Shingyaki keeps walking up.
And this new model Jeff Fenech was seeing tonight on the back move, looking good too.
They're in round 6. Fenech over in the neutral corner. Shinyaki trying to set him up, but Fenech gets out of the way. So does the referee, Bruce McTavish. 20 seconds to go in the round. Fenech jabbing with the left hand. Eight seconds remaining as Fenech gets Shinyaki over towards his own corner. They punch up and close as the bell goes to end round 6.
Round 6, it was a good one for Jeff Fenech too, and I think he pinched the points off Shinyaki in that round because he did catch him with some nice punches. How about that one? That was a nice little left to send him on with, Alan.
Bit of spray went flying from the jaw of the Japanese champion. I'm inclined to think, Michael, that Jeff Fenech's probably picking up the points in the last couple of rounds. There's not going to be a lot in this fight up to this stage, but Fenech is boxing well. And he just might be picking up the points, but the 3 judges will let us know at the end of the 15 rounds if it goes that far. Well, that was a good left hand from Shinyaki, got Fenech right on the jaw. This has been a very good fight. They're in the 7th round. There's a big crowd here. The Horden Pavilion have come to see 2 fellows really, well, not so much stand toe-to-toe, but give 15 3-minute rounds of heart. And they've really fought very hard. The pace has been a cracker. Taken on the gloves. Fenech was caught with a left hand. His own left hand was caught on the gloves by Shinyaki, and Shinyaki came back and scored with his own left hand on Fenech.
Okay, break, step back, step back.
Jeff Fenech has never been knocked off his feet in his life, either as an amateur or a professional, and it's interesting when Shinyaki has caught him with some pretty good punches so far. He hasn't flinched too much.
Nice boxing by Fenech. He got Shinyaki downstairs, then he clipped him. He's clipped him again. Shinyaki stands his ground. Fenech beating Shinyaki to the punch again. But Shinyaki walking up. Oh, the right hand was a ripper from Fenech. It staggered Shinyaki, but he fights back the Japanese champion. Another right from Fenech. But Shinyaki, he just stands his ground. Fenech sitting with 3 and 4 right hands. We're in round 7. This has been a titanic struggle. Fenech's hit Shinyaki with some of his best, but the Japanese champion has taken them and comes back.
By gee, this right hand of Fenech's been impressive in this round. He's beaten Shinyaki with it time after time.
And again, he's through the guard. Then he gets his own hands up as Shinyaki comes after him. Fenech showing good defence. Shinyaki wobbled over towards his own corner. The right hand was a good one from Fenech. Shinyaki has caught plenty with 23 seconds to go in the 7th round, but he's still inclined to walk up to Fenech and take the fight up to him. Fenech gets out of harm's way. Nice boxing. Fenech's confident.
10 seconds to go, a magnificent round for Jeff Fenech, who's hit this Japanese champion with about 400 right hands.
He's got the look of confidence on him, Fenech. As the bell goes, they're in a great round for him, round 7.
Round 7 action, and by gee, Jeff Fenech hit that Japanese champion, Satoshi Shinyaki, with more right hands than you'd see sometimes in a whole night of boxing. And there's one of them.
Yes, he certainly beat him to the punch. He was quicker, Mike. He's confident, Jeff Fenech. Let's hope he's not overconfident, because as it stands at the moment, he looks to be well in control. Well in control.
Astonishingly tough, as you say, but Alan, this Japanese, he's hitting with everything but the corner stool, and the Japanese not marked, and to all intents and purposes not all that hurt either.
No, had a good look at Shinyaki in the corner at the end of that round. Nice left hand from Shinyaki scored. He's not bruised, he's not cut. Oh, that right hand got through from Fenech, was a good punch. He must be made out of concrete, Shinyaki. He has copped the best that Fenech can offer. And I suppose as this fight goes into the 8th round, Jeff Fenech certainly hasn't shown any signs of weakening, although he has to go 15 threes for the first time tonight.
But the noticeable development in the fight is the fact that Shingaki, whose defence, as you say, was very effective in the early rounds, can't handle that right hand to Fenech.
And he's dropping the hands, Mike. Shingaki, for the first time, is dropping his hands. Have a look where they are. After the exchange, he's getting out of harm's way, and he's starting to take breathers.
And he certainly can't understand this right hand to Fenech. He just keeps darting out and belting him in the head. There it is again.
Oh, Fenech threw a big right hand, nearly threw himself out of the ring. There, Shingaki dropped his hands, and Fenech gave him something to go on with. Another right hand got through. Shingaki won't give up. I was wondering how much steam that Fenech must have knocked out of Shingaki. Shingaki does have an impressive knockout record, so he's one of these fighters...
He's in trouble, Shingaki. The champion staggered. He's in...
Fenech relentless.
Shingaki's in trouble now.
He looks tired. Listen to this crowd calling for Jeff Fenech, the boy from Newtown. This parochial Sydney crowd calling for Fenech to finish off the world champion. Can he do it?
And Shingaki hanging on for dear life, and why wouldn't he too in another furious round for him. Round 8 as Fenech chases him around the ring, hurling out those big right hands.
30 seconds to go in the round. This round's been all Jeff Fenech. The $64 question is, does Shingaki have one big punch he can land on Fenech to slow him down or knock him out? Because Fenech is really calling the tune. And his defence is holding on to Jeff Fenech.
10 seconds to go, round 8.
Left ripped into the body from Fenech. As the bell goes to end another round for Jeff Fenech, round 8.
There he is, the champion. Balloon still going off here at ringside. He seemed to be able to handle Fenech's attack, but suddenly the right hand started to get through, and since then, in the last few rounds, it has hit Shingaki on the head every inch of the way, and the Japanese a bit marked up and looking a little worse for wear now, Alan.
He's starting to get a little bit red around the cheekbone and around the eyes, but he certainly hasn't been cut as yet, and Jeff Fenech has given plenty, and of course I suppose when you can work out the amount of punishment that Shingaki's taken tonight, and keeping in mind that he held his world title, his last defence with a broken jaw, for something like 8 to 10 rounds.
Against Flash Emanuel of the Philippines, so he's obviously, as I said before the fight, bred in the real samurai tradition, and he's still walking up after 8 furious rounds here at the Hordern Pavilion. This is the 9th, and Australia's Jeff Fenech is ahead on points.
Shingaki just directing the attack downstairs, but Fenech equal to the task, comes back and snaps his head back.
Shingaki looking to his corner for advice now, and Fenech keeps hitting him with those right hands.
Fenech, a left hook, has Shingaki on the ropes. You often wonder when you consider what Shingaki's taken so far, whether Fenech has the capacity to actually knock him out. If the fight keeps going the way it is, Fenech will win it on points, he'll win by a mile. Whether he has the ability or the punching power to stop the world champion certainly remains to be seen.
Yes, at the moment he looks like he'd have to get an elephant gun to stop him, but Jeff Fenech is a long way ahead on points. And he's worked this fellow out, the southpaw. He's hitting with some marvellous right hands as they battle it out in round 9.
Well, excitement coming from the Japanese corner as he got a left hand through to Jeff Fenech, but he hasn't got many through tonight. There hasn't been too much to cheer about so far in Shingaki's corner. Although he's the world champion, he's been the 15 threes, he's as tough as teak. He's hurt, Shingaki's hurt, but he fights back.
A display of of sheer guts and courage from the world champion as he battles to retain his title against the Tiger from the back streets of Marrickville in Sydney. Looking at the referee now saying, please, how much longer is this going on?
Oh! And from Fenech. That stood him up. On the break, McTavish got in to break them and Fenech cut him loose. He stopped it. Fenech is the new world champion. The crowd will say it all.
Well, there it is, a real Rocky story right in front of your eyes, live from Sydney's Horton Pavilion tonight. As the boy from Marrickville, Jeff Fenech, does it, his dream comes true and he becomes the bantamweight boxing champion of the world. And with the formalities, the formal announcement, your ring announcer, Ray Connolly.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 2 minutes, 43 seconds of the 9th round, the winner, and now International Boxing Federation Bantamweight Champion of the World, Jeff Fenech.